Hi, so I'm still here. As you can all see, I am 39 weeks pregnant today. And sorry if the video is just like slightly shaky or like if the lighting keeps going. One, I've got it currently rested on my knee while I video. And two, I'm kind of sat in the bed just resting because I've had a really rubbish night's sleep and I'm starting to feel really pants now. Quite a lot's gone on this week, so I'll try and cover that now. If I stop having wind, that is. Right, so let's get started. Basically, how many was it? 3 days ago now. I've been having, well, I think I explained in a previous video that I'd been having these contractions on and off because of the irritable uterus, and they'd last like however long and then they'd stop. Well, I went for a walk downtown with Ash and his mum the other day. It was the worst walk of my life. Trying to walk down there with crutches was awful. After 5 minutes I was in that much pain, I just did not want to walk anymore, and I had that much pressure down below, and I had to sit down a few times. Like when they went in the supermarket, I couldn't walk around all the aisles, I had to go sit down on a chair. I only walked down because I wanted to get my eyebrows done for the last time before I have this baby, because otherwise they'd be like complete overgrown bushes if I waited till after, because I don't know how long it's going to be till I leave the house, depending on how everything goes. So, yeah, so we went downtown and it was awful, and it was awful walking back as well. And I sat down, I think Ash did me something to eat and drink, and I struggled eating my food because I started getting these really, really intense, painful contractions. Now, thankfully, I only had like 2 or 3 of them. I had 2 very intense, really painful ones, then one that was quite painful but not as intense as the other 2. Luckily, they went off, and I was absolutely terrified because I thought, oh no, I'm going to go in labour. And even though it'd be fine for baby to come now, and he can come whenever he wants, every time I think I'm going to go into labour, I always think, oh no, 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 it can't happen now, it can't happen now. Like, the time always seems so inconvenient, because of obviously my daughter being at school, and then think, oh, someone's got to pick her up from school, do this, do that, this isn't ready, and it's just, obviously, it's all never convenient really having a baby, is it? It's never going to happen at a convenient time, so I guess as long as I've got things prepared as much as they can be, that's all I can do. So that night, it was about, I think I went to get in the shower at about 8 o'clock, 8 p.m, maybe a bit after that actually. I wasn't feeling too good. I was getting quite a lot of pain in my tummy, and I felt generally like unwell. So I thought, oh, if I have a nice warm shower, I'll feel a bit better. So I had a shower, and I felt worse. I honestly felt worse. It was horrible. So basically, once I'd got sorted and dressed and dried and what have you, I just said to Ash that I was going to bed because I really felt unwell. I didn't feel myself, and I was laying in bed and I couldn't stop shaking. Like, you know, when you shake all over when you're really cold. I was doing that, but I wasn't cold. Like, I couldn't stop my body from shaking, and it was horrible, and I felt so, so sick. I felt like I was about to throw up any minute, but I wasn't sick. So I had the shakes and I felt sick, and I thought, am I ill? And then I started getting these contractions, and they were every few minutes, and then that went on. I mean, they came as close as like every couple of minutes, 1 to 2 minutes, and that went on all night long. And I honestly thought I was in labour. I rang the labour ward at something past 3 in the morning. I didn't really check my phone as such. I can just remember looking at it and it said 3 something a.m. and they basically just said to take paracetamol and to rest and to call them back if it continued to get worse and more painful, but they never actually got any more intense. They were really painful and it did feel like I was in labour, but they never upped a notch. Like the pain levels never went up anymore. I'd say the pain levels must have been about, say, out of a level of 10, say 10 being the worst pain in the whole entire world and 0 being painless, I'd say they were about a 4, so they were quite painful, but you know, I wasn't screaming or anything. And eventually they went off the next day at about dinner time, so I had them for about 16 hours. Now, to have contractions for 16 hours and then for it to stop, it really gutted me, because even though I wanted them to stop and I was relieved because I was no longer in pain, I was gutted because I thought, well, I've just had to go through that for 16 whole hours for them to just stop, and that's it. And this has been going on now since then. I have had on and off contractions in the night where they've come and then they've gone. It usually is in the night time when it happens. I'll have tons and tons of Braxton Hicks in the day, and then at night time when I'm trying to sleep, my tummy will be hurting, then I'll get contractions, and then they'll usually just go away on their own and just stop. So that's quite sad really, but we'll see. I mean, I'm 39 weeks now, so I'm sure it'll happen anytime soon. I have my daughter at 40+4, so I'm thinking I'll have him sometime this week, probably. I went to a midwife appointment yesterday when I was 38+6, and she said he's 3/5 engaged, so it's not fully engaged again apparently, even though he feels it, like, because I felt his head move so low down and there was so much pressure, it really felt like he was fully engaged, but apparently not. But I was 3/5 at 36 weeks as well, but I have been told by some people that a lot of babies, once you've had one, when you have more than one, they don't actually fully engage until you go into labour, so maybe that'll be the case with him. And everything was okay, like my urine sample was fine. She measured me and he was measuring just slightly less than he was 2 weeks ago. Now, it did concern me at first, but she didn't seem concerned, and then I thought about it and thought, well, really, it could all be just to do with the position he's lying in, because if, say, he was lying more back to back with me, say, this time than he was last time, that could potentially mean that my fundal height could measure just very slightly less. I don't know. Pardon me. So it could all be to do with that. And there wasn't really a lot else, she said, apart from, because of the SPD, to, when I do go into labour, try to do it on my knees or in an upright position, because it opens the pelvis more. So that'll be fun, because I tried to do it on my knees with my daughter, and the midwife in the hospital stopped me because she was like, this isn't happening, you're going against gravity, because I'd like got my bum up in the air and I was head down, so obviously I was going against nature when I was doing it, but I was in so much pain that I couldn't really help it. There's not been a lot else going on. Still got really itchy feet. His movements hurt quite a bit now. He's not quite moving the same as he was before. I mean, he's moving right now. He's still really active and moving, but I think he's just so squashed now that he kind of just moves his whole body like this rather than punching and kicking. He'll sometimes move like his elbow across my belly, or he'll stick a foot up into my ribs, but other than that, or like he'll arch his back and it'll bump right out, but other than that, he doesn't really do any big like swooshy movements or anything like that. Also yesterday his heart rate was a little lower than it has been for about 10 weeks. She wasn't concerned because his heart rate was 148, which apparently is in the normal range, but his heart rate is usually between like 154 and 158, so, and it's been like that for about 10 weeks. So just because it was a little bit lower than the normal for him, that concerned me slightly, but she wasn't concerned. So, you know, unless my midwife's concerned, I'm sure that there's nothing to worry about, and he's going to be here anytime soon. So, oh, sorry, I've got the sniffles. So yeah, there's not really been a lot else going on as such. I'm not really sleeping at night. I don't sleep at night barely at all. I keep having nightmares all the time, which I'm sure just is normal for the end of pregnancy. I'm still getting heartburn pretty bad, but I'd say it's less severe than it was at 36 weeks. I'm not getting it as bad in the day now as I was then. Sorry. But I still do get it through the night, so I do still have to take my antacid stuff for that. And there's not really any other symptoms as such other than I'm just being a pig and I like to eat all the time. Still, I'm not doing anything currently to try and coax labour on. Like, I've not really been doing anything like people have been saying, oh, drink pineapple juice, have sex, go sideways up and down stairs, this, that, the other. I've not really bothered, because I'm not even the raspberry leaf tea really. I think I had it like once or twice. Because I just think, well, I'm not overdue yet, so he'll come when he's ready. My daughter was overdue, so if I get to 40 weeks and then I'm still pregnant, then maybe I'll try some natural methods. But I'm not doing any of the curry stuff or laxatives or any drinks or anything like that, because most of these things, what it is that brings on the labour is it actually gives you the craps. And it's by having the runs, like the diarrhoea, that causes your bowel muscles to contract and then can start your actual uterus off contracting. And to be fair, I don't really want to have diarrhoea while I'm in labour, so it is awful as it is on its own, let alone, I mean, labour's bad enough on its own. I don't want both together, so I'm not going to try them ones. But we'll see if I'm still here next week. Personally, I don't think I will be, but I've been thinking that for the last like 3 weeks now, and I'm still pregnant. So I'm guessing we'll see. We'll either have an update next week or we won't. But I'm going to try and get my best. Try my best to get Ashley to video as much as I can, or I video as much as I can for the birth vlog. So it'll either be that comes up next, or you'll get a 40-week update. Oh yeah, I haven't actually weighed myself for a few days, but I'm nearly 13 stone now. Oh my goodness, wow. I've not done my measured round my waist for about 4 days, but I was like nearly 45 inches last time. So, and I don't think I've really got any bigger than that, so I guess it'll be the bump shot now. Right, so this is the bump with the t-shirt on. Got another one of Ashley's t-shirts on again. That side, sorry about the bed mess there. I've just been like sitting in the bed with my pillow, so ignore that. I've just got out. Up we go, and that is from the side, and as you can see it's still quite pointed. I mean, earlier on this morning my bump had dropped right down. If you follow me on Facebook, or I'll be putting it on Instagram, it was really low down, but it seems to have rose up a bit now. and that side, front again. So yeah, that's the belly shot. So I'll hopefully see you next week, and we'll see if I have another update or if not. Oh, as well, if I do go over, I have got a membrane sweep booked for 40+6, but I can't really see that happening. So I will see you sometime next week, whether or not. Bye.